Hello, welcome back. We're live! Usually it lags at the very beginning, so I'll give it a second. Today, we're talking about how to open your third eye. And what in the world with this title? No gluten, I was gonna fit in there, no soap, no all kinds of things. No Fap challenge. Is this how to open your third eye? And what even does that mean? What is opening your third eye? What is an awakening? If you've heard about it and don't understand, maybe you want to experience something like that, but you don't know what it is. So how can you? These are going to be very deep and very secret bits of information. So not everyone's talking about this. So you're not going to hear about this in school or college or from your friends or family, I doubt. So how did I even come across this topic, and why am I making a video? So I'm going to tell you why you should watch if you're interested in this topic, and why you should watch the whole video, because this information is the most valuable could be the most valuable information that I have. So I'm always trying to give the most valuable information, and I've been studying psychology for 15 years. I'm a black belt, and I'm a student still, although I have also been a teacher, but I feel more like a student because I'm constantly digging. But this information comes from my experience. This isn't something I read in a book. I talk about a lot of different books in my other videos, but this is real that I have gone through, and this has been decades in the making. So I didn't just throw this together, but I'm answering in this video some questions from a viewer. So let me see. So if you have questions about this, comment, and I'll happily make a video as soon as I have time. So the basics, what exactly is opening the third eye, and how to unlock and use it practically. So that was the question. So we're going to talk about how to open the third eye and how to use that practically and how to actually do it. Whew, this could go pretty deep, so let's get into it. So like I said, this has taken a couple decades in the making. Man, I started meditating and stuff when I was a child because I was an artist, and then I started martial arts when I was around 8. I wanted to start when I was 5, but I had to wait until I was more able to take direction, I guess. So I started when I was 8, and I learned a lot, of course, and I learned a lot studying psychology. I've been studying that more than half my life, but there's a really limited amount of information you can get in conventional ways. Like I said, school didn't teach me, and even getting a black belt was a good start, but I would say that's a start. But I've been on this kind of journey or quest my whole life, and then it sometimes can be anticlimactic, because really, this is it. This is life right here. What does it mean to be woke? What does it mean to be woke? Well, if you're woke, it's common sense, because it doesn't take effort. Your senses are tuned in, and not just your 5 senses, but your 6th sense is also tuned in. So if you're not awakened, the way I would describe that for this video's sake is something is getting blocked because, and that's, I mean, that sounds a little dumb, but your energy, you have an unlimited energy within you. And that sounds corny unless you actually are using it. So, what good does that do if you don't understand what that means? Um, you have an unlimited, just going to say it again, you have an unlimited power within you, and it's probably getting gummed up or blocked by the food you're eating. Is one thing I would say are the simple steps are the diet. So this isn't how I went about it. This is how I would, if I were going back and doing it over again. And I've studied martial arts in 3 countries, trying to, learn and develop my self, my it's the my body or my mind, my combination, whatever this is. I wasn't sure at the time, but I was working on what I thought was developing my health and developing my mind the best way that I knew about. So that's why I studied martial arts. I recommend Tai Chi a lot if there's someone really that knows what they're doing. Of course, like there's so many people that don't know what they're doing, which makes everything such a pain in the butt. If that wasn't the case, then I wouldn't be making this video, because you would already know what to do, and there'd be people and resources for you to get feedback if you need it. You might not need it. You're self-sufficient, but if you don't feel self-sufficient right now, if you don't know that you are, then you're missing out, because there are more levels to life, I guess. That sounds, but it's not meant to sound condescending in any way. It's not like looking down upon the peasants or something like that. It's more like once you know how to speak a certain language, when someone speaks it, you just understand. If you don't speak it and they're talking to you, you have to act it out and stuff like that. So I've lived in other countries where I had to have a lot of communication challenges, and I'm communication. So this is the challenge. But now we're live across the whole world. So challenge averted. We can be in every country at once. So what are the practical steps if I were to go back and just say, do this, this, and this? First of all, I would have to go a little bit into the philosophy first, because what exactly do you think you're looking for? And this is going to sound a lot like Master Yoda, because basically George Lucas just grabbed stuff from Eastern culture and just made it into a meme, basically. Although I'm not to say that he did a bad job, well, in the beginning. But there's some philosophy you can't. Why are you looking for some kind of enlightenment outside of yourself? Why are you watching a video expecting that I know more about it than you do? I'm sharing information, but don't think that I can do something that you can't. You might be able to do whatever I'm talking about better than I can, but I'm not measuring how well I'm doing it or not. I'm just recommending. To me, it's just when people ask about this, I feel like this is the most important thing that we can be talking about. So it's about knowing yourself, and I can't tell you about yourself. Well, you can learn about yourself from watching me, but you need to have in mind that you're learning about yourself. You can't just expect to, when it comes down to it, you're going to have to do the things. And here are some things that you can do that will have a really powerful effect that you should be able to notice it working right away. But you shouldn't really be chasing after a feeling. However, once you feel healthy, it's better. So it's strange. Whatever I just said sounded like a riddle, but part of the problem in English is I've been living in different countries and then speaking English with all sorts of people of different levels. So I studied a meditation seminar that lasted a course or whatever you want to call it. It lasted 3 months, and that was being translated to me. So I was lucky to have that translated to me. But like sometimes I thought, oh, I wish that made sense in English, because it does not. And a lot of it was very condescending. And I don't want to sound like that to you. So, at the risk of sounding condescending, I'm going to just start saying all kinds of things that are going to work. But are you going to actually do them? Probably not. Because afraid of something, because you're going to be afraid of the unknown, which is, I don't blame you. Most people are afraid of the unknown. So if maybe you're watching a bunch of videos online talking about enlightenment and trying to sell it to you, or trying to, it's it can't be sold or bought. You can't buy this from someone. However, there are things you could get, which things cost money. So, I mean, there are things you could buy, of course, that like certain foods and herbs that you should eat. And then it's more about what you shouldn't do. But in psychology, you try not to say what not to do, try to focus on a different way to say that, which just say to do something else. So the video, the title says no, or I might have changed the title. I had it saying no fap, no soap, no wheat, no chemicals. I think I had to shorten it to just no chemicals. But you have to, the first thing I would do, other than stretching and doing some kind of yoga, even if you're not good at it, doesn't matter. What is good at it anyway? But maybe don't go to a yoga school. Maybe just do it I don't go to a yoga school, personally, because I don't want to be around a bunch of... See, now I don't want to be around a bunch of people when I'm like putting my butt in the air and all kinds of, like, it needs to, for me, that's distracting. If that shouldn't be distracting, but it is. So I'd rather do it. I've been doing it at home or been taught one-on-one by someone for almost 15 years. It's not that I'm not doing it every single day, but every single day that I do, I feel amazing and I feel better. So that's one way that I talk about to alkalize your body and to get more energy. It's not about taking an energy drink. There's energy already in your body that is blocked, like by mucus and inflammation and your condition, like your cardiovascular system, and all these things need to be healthy. So you need to get, like, there are levels to this. The first level is got to be getting physically healthy. If you just try to get mentally healthy without getting physically healthy, I think you're going in the wrong direction. And this from personal experience. I studied psychology for so long because I thought that was the answer. But I got a degree and I graduated with honors, and I learned a lot, supposedly. But did I learn what actually changed my life? No, not with that degree. That degree didn't really do this for me. So you're going to have to dig underground, because most people don't know anything. So the foods that you should be eating to open your third eye are not the foods that you're probably eating. And even going vegan didn't work for me because I've had you can have spotty, like, enlightenment kind of experiences where you feel really good a certain day, or you have a vision of something and you manifest it, which that's great. That's what you should be doing every day. Should be happening every day. You don't, if it's happening years in between or weeks in between or whatever, then you're probably hanging out with losers and the wrong people. You're probably eating and drinking things that are acid and bad, that are literally killing you slowly. And I hate to point all these things out, but this is the answer to the questions of the video. So stop eating wheat, which means stop eating most grain. Cut out all the starch. That means no beer, no alcohol. Stop eating acids. That means no French fries or Coca-Cola. Stop using fluoride, which means no toothpaste. And stop rubbing chemicals on your body which cause cancer, like oh my gosh, a lot of these shampoos and stuff cause cancer, especially in women, and they just go right into your skin. You're rubbing that into your skin. Your skin is an organ. Would you eat that shampoo? Then don't rub it on your skin. So if you wouldn't eat it, then don't rub it on your skin. That's a simple idea that maybe nobody woke you up to, but your skin's an organ. It's your biggest one. So if you're rubbing chemicals on it every day, it's going in you. Might as well put it right in your mouth or up your butt. So if you wouldn't do that, then don't put it on your skin. And another thing, what are you putting in your mouth? That's gonna soak right in, goes right into your bloodstream. I'm not going to open my mouth, but you've got all these blood vessels all over the inside of your mouth. If you put something in your mouth, it goes right in. If you're smoking cigarettes, that's so acid. And it's bad. Okay, here are the worst things. Meat. These are the most acid that are going to kill you, basically, and eat away at your organs. And this was happening to me. And it's happening to a lot of people I know. It's terrible. It sucks. I was bouncing around between doctors trying to figure out what is going on. No one knows anything. They give you medication that's acid. All the prescriptions are acid. There's not an alkaline prescription. So none of them are good by pH, by definition. So there are other... Trying to keep this video short, so keep away from the most acidic things first, and then work your way up. I guess that would be the most logical. It'd be really hard to just quit all at once, because you're not gonna know everything from just watching a video. You're not gonna remember. You're only gonna remember percentage of this video if you watch it once. You would have to watch it 10, 20 times to remember it all. So good thing that I'm making more videos, so you can subscribe and ring the bell. Actually, I can slip the plug in there. But I'm giving this info because you're not going to just hear it once and then, oh, suddenly enlightenment. So you're going to have to first understand why you would not eat the acid and smoke the cigarettes and drink the alcohol, because those are acid. The worst things are like Coke, or I shouldn't have said their brand name, because now that'll make them angry. But the colas and soft drinks are so acid, they're like 3 or something. It's dangerous to put in your body. And then smoking and also sleep deprivation are bad for you. But then again, depending on how awesome you feel, some people can exist on less sleep than others. But you know, when you're sleep deprived and you start feeling like you start feeling scummy, that's acid. I can feel it. I don't want to feel it, so I don't partake in those things. So wheat is acid. Anything with starch in it, which is almost everything, is acid, and causes cancer and causes disease. So anything that's acid causes disease. That's why, what is dis-ease? It's the opposite of enlightenment, right? What is enlightenment? Maybe it's at ease, or at peace, or happy, or whatever you want to call it. But like happiness or fun seems to come at certain moments. You're not funny, having fun all the time, but you could be like at peace, and also happy and fun at different times. And of course, there will be some sad, and there will be some angry, but there's nothing you can eat or not eat that can take your emotions away. However, I really recommend, from personal, like inside my body just feels like it's quicker to overcome a bad mood. It's quicker to overcome a failure. It's quicker to overcome there's no way I'm going to get sick. There's no way. I'm not going to get sick like this. So as long as your pH is up and you're alkaline, your body automatically heals and operates. It operates at optimum capacity. So I'm not a mechanic or anything, but imagine if you dumped a bunch of sand in your engine. That's what eating sugar, drinking alcohol, eating wheat, all that stuff does. It all does the same thing, and in varying degrees. So the most acid thing is cane juice, so sugar, and it's in everything. Go figure. So it makes it really difficult to eat from the you can't go to restaurants in most states. Maybe if you live somewhere where hippies exist, they might have some like grains that are actually alkaline, or there's not that many that I know of. It's pretty few actually. Spelt, quinoa, amaranth, maybe teff, and there's other like flours that you could like make something into a flour, but the flour and the bread and everything, the yeast and all that is so bad for you. It's crazy. When you stop eating it, you feel so different. And I feel like I should end this video soon, but I didn't even mention toothpaste, soap. There's so many things that some company is just pumping out petrochemicals and then selling to you and putting putting happy, healthy on the label, and then people like us buy it, because I was doing that too. I was using, and then the stuff that's labeled healthy, oh my God, that, and the supplements and vitamins. First of all, vitamins are acid. Look at them. I have some leftover vitamin bottles around. I'll at some point do a video showing the ingredients that are bad for you in the vitamins, and this is not something that you can just like, oh, I'll eat a little bit of alkaline here and then eat a little bit of fast food. It's not, it's a misunderstanding that like people think that they can just take a pill or something and that it's going to go away. Well, the pills are acid. The vitamins are also acid. So unless you I mean, there are alkaline herbs out there, but that's not what most people are having. That's what 99.9 people don't even know about. So you start eating the right food. So all these things you can't use. So what are you supposed to do anyway? You should start dropping foods out and replacing them. So what are you going to do without beans or rice or meat? Because most people are going to be hungry without bread or meat or cheese, because that's all they eat, and it's really bad for you. That's why look around at all the sick people. It's crazy. It's scary almost that people are just eating it and not even thinking. And then they're just going on a diet or going and running at the gym and then lifting heavy weights and thinking that that's not gonna make you alkaline. Sorry, wake up call. Stretching will make you alkaline. I was going to the gym for a little bit, and like I said, I've been doing martial arts since I was 8, and I was doing wrestling before that when I was 5. But so I know a thing or two, I guess, about fitness. I'm a black belt. And there's a tickle, and I'm not sick. Don't worry. I've been feeling better and better and better. But so I was at the gym, and I would go to the gym and walk during the winter, and then I would jog, and then I would walk again, and I would stretch. And like I was watching what other people are doing, and I would be there for like 2 or 3 hours, and I would watch like 100 people come and go, and nobody knows anything. It's crazy. And I'm not saying that in a I know more than you because I'm better or something, but I'm just saying like it's shocking what the average people think they're getting healthy means. And like so if you do go to the gym, you should be like stretching for like double the amount of time that you're at the gym. And so you just save your money and stay home and stretch is what I would recommend. But anyway, that's just me. So save your money, stay home and stretch. Don't go to the gym. It's loud. There's people drinking Powerade, which is acid. There's people slamming heavy objects down. And there's people that don't know anything that are teaching you how to get fit. And like I saw these trainers, like training people, they don't know anything. So, I mean, that's, if you have a really amazing gym with somebody that knows what's up but odds are if you're just trying to most people are either trying to bulk up or lose weight. And neither of those are the right approach, in my opinion, of doing martial arts and wrestling and yoga my whole life. But just exercising doesn't make you healthy either. I felt like garbage when I was really sick, and I was like running an hour and trying to like get back healthy and whatever. And finally what actually worked to make the enlightenment and the third eye permanently open is stopping the alcohol totally, stopping the wheat totally, stopping the corn totally, stopping the bread, potatoes, starches of all kinds, which includes stuff like broccoli that you think is real and healthy, and that unfortunately we were lied to. I was lied to too, not just you. So I feel bad about it too, that we were totally lied to our whole life. So we just hit 30 minutes, so I'm going to end the video. But here are the basic steps that I'm giving. Stretch out, either find some Tai Chi or yoga or some equivalent thing that totally stretches out your entire body head to toe. You don't have to be an expert at it right away, but just start doing it for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30, 40. I mean, you can't really stretch too much. Well, let me rephrase that. You can overstretch and hurt yourself if you're not warmed up. So if it's cold or if it's winter where you are, you know, you need to warm up. So start off slow. Don't force it. Don't force yourself to be good at it. Don't force yourself to be as good as the person in the YouTube video, or don't eventually, maybe after doing it for 9 years or something, but don't get ahead of yourself. Just try doing it 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes a day, and then start trying to do it every day. And if you get up to the point where you're doing it 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes every single day, 45, an hour a day, you're gonna, if you start stretching an hour a day, you are gonna feel so freaking amazing. I can't even, most people just won't do it. So, sucks to be them, I guess. But I know the periods I went in my life without stretching every day, I felt like garbage, because also I wasn't eating right, and it was building up badly, quickly. So the more acidic you're eating, the quicker it's going to build up. Also, the more you're exercising, the quicker it's going to build up. So if you're eating like garbage or exercising a lot or both, you're going to feel more and more acidic. So your body's not going to be working, your organs aren't going to be absorbing any nutrients. So when you're eating, you think you're eating a vitamin and your body can't even absorb it because it's not the right pH. So if you know anything about plants, you know that the roots won't absorb nutrients if you give it bad water or if the pH is bad for the plant. So the plant will die. So it's the same, it's happening all around us. Look, if you're in America at least. I've been in other countries too, and they're catching up to the sickness and dis-ease and obesity here in the US. So I'm praying for you, and I wish you the best, and I wish you the best feeling and the most amazing day. And it's probably going to happen for you when you start stretching and when you start eating right, because then your digestion is going to correct. And of course, drink a lot of water, but you should also drink, of course, drink a lot of water, and I think everyone's doing that already, but most people aren't. It's crazy. None of my friends are even drinking water. They're all drinking sparkly, and this isn't just you. If you're watching, I'm not making fun of you. This is like every single person I know. So that's not good for you, I'm sorry to say. I'm not preaching, because I didn't make this up. I didn't make up science, but I'm just trying to share with you what works for me and what works for, this works for everyone, no matter, these things work for everyone, no matter male, female, whatever you're into, it doesn't matter. So, if you're a human being, then this works. So can you start to see what might it be like for your body to start alkalizing and your energy level, your pH goes up, which means basically like you're plugged in. Batteries are alkaline. So it's when you're alkaline, when your pH starts going up, you'll feel it right away. So you'll know that it's working, and when I stopped eating wheat, it was like, oh my God, because I was already vegan, and it didn't really, like, being vegan really didn't make me feel any better. It was more along the moral side, I guess, but not, I was really trying to, it was really about health, but I thought that was the next, I guess it was the next step. But it wasn't, I was still eating wheat and corn and gluten-free this and gluten-free that, and it's all bad for you. It's potato starch and corn starch and fake things, chemicals, and all kinds of stuff. Just because it's gluten-free doesn't mean it's good for you. Is that the first time you've heard that? Because for me, it's common sense. And I tried eating all that stuff, and it made me feel like garbage. So what? It made me feel just as bad as eating wheat, pretty much. Although wheat, I think they put it in everything. It's in every single thing, so it's hard to cut it out at the beginning because you're like, what? What am I even doing? So also no beans, no rice. So what are you supposed to eat? Instead of beans and rice, you can, instead of beans, you can have garbanzo or chickpeas, they're called. Those are alkaline and those fill you up. So if you need something with a ton of protein, if you're still brainwashed in the protein brainwashing that isn't real, that you could just eat chickpeas, and it has tons of protein. There's chickpea pasta that's pretty good, although the pasta sauce that you've been eating is not, so you would probably have to rethink the sauce. But there's chickpea pasta, there's chickpeas, there's hummus if you make it yourself because they add acidic chemicals. You know what they do? Start looking at the label. They just straight up add acid into the food. It's crazy. But anyway, don't take my word for it. Go look with your own 2 eyes and your third eye. So once you stop eating those things and start eating the alkaline, which means electric, which means energy, which means you'll jump up and down every day. Once avocados fill you up, that's something because most people don't know what to do. How do you not eat meat? I don't even know how you don't eat meat. And then people think that it's good, and it's not good. It's just got sugary sauce slathered all over it, and the sugar is acid too. So you're putting an acid sauce over an acid food and then eating it with an acid drink, and it's just, oh my gosh. That's why there's much obesity and diabetes and heart disease. It's no mystery to me. No mystery at all. And it shouldn't be a mystery to you after watching this. Although you probably need to hear it a few more times, and you probably need to feel it for yourself, because just me talking about it does nothing for you other than maybe tip you off to that there's this going on that you didn't learn about yet in school or in the mainstream. So most people think just exercise a lot and just drink flavored water, and the flavored water is acid. And there's also alkaline water that's not good for you. So oh my gosh, I know this sounds like it's just the biggest conspiracy ever, because it is. It's ridiculous. When you start trying to actually carry on a conversation about it, it makes people look at you like you're total out of your mind. So if you're looking at the screen like, what is this guy smoking? Speaking of that, marijuana is alkaline. It's not acid. So draw your own conclusion. But the pills are acid that are, like 100 years ago, 80% of the medicine was made from cannabis and hemp plants. And they just basically made it illegal and tried to duplicate all the different things it does synthetically, which doesn't work because you can't create an alkaline mineral in a lab. You can't. So if you're buying like some synthetic vitamin or pill, it's not healthy. You can know flat out. The only way is if it came from a plant, because the plant's roots, with the process from nature, whether you believe in God or not, it's happening in nature. The plants can transfer the minerals like iron into a liquid through their roots that we can actually consume. You can't make that in a lab. So that's a wake-up call for almost everyone. And I know everyone thinks that Enlightenment's all about reading a book and then sitting in Indian style and going to hot yoga and then drinking Powerade and having a yoga mat. But sorry to burst the bubble, that it's not going to happen if you're dumping garbage in. It won't. And I had Enlightenment ish experiences periodically, like wow here, wow there. And now looking back, I know why, because I alkalized. Boom. And then I did a juice fast 6 years ago, and something else that was alkaline I took, and it rocked my world. So and most people never do a fast. And if you look at fasting up online, this garbage on Google propaganda says, oh, there's no proof that fasting is good for you. Well, then they never tried it before, idiots. Because if you try it, the proof is so obvious. You kidding me? Anyway, I rant. One day I'll full out rant for you and you'll see the full power. I try to only do the happy power, but this doesn't mean, being tuned in doesn't mean you're just happy all the time. I still have problems and I still get upset, and you have to crush through it sometimes. So, but if I'm not crushing through it, then I want to be happy and creative, because I'm an artist and a musician and business person, which I think is an art so far. So I hope this video helps you. I really talked about some unpopular things. I didn't even mention the No Fap because I don't have any time, but I'll just mention it at the end, that you're claiming not to have any energy, and then you're wasting your energy, as I call it, fapping to the oldies. That's my little catchphrase that I say whenever the opportune time arises, which is almost never. But I just got one, squeezed one in there. I like to have fun during this, might as well. So I hope that you're understanding some of this, and I hope that you post your questions below and subscribe, because just hearing this once isn't gonna change your life. You're gonna have to actually hear it a few times, but I'll share more videos and I'll share with you how it's going for me. I only went totally alkaline recently, so I still found some stuff I accidentally, acidic things I was accidentally eating, because I hadn't cut it out yet. For some reason I hadn't questioned it, and then suddenly I woke up to, wait, this isn't on the list of food that I'm eating. So eventually I will release a list of food to eat, and then not anything else, because that's the real key. But I'm only just getting fully into it. I was toe dipping for so long, but then the effects are powerful and really good. So I recommend the alkaline herbs. I'm not going to list them here, but I will make more videos like this. So comment below if you want more information. My wife and I have tons of alkaline recipes of foods that, fried mushrooms that taste just like chicken nuggets. And oh no, I'm hungry now. I'm gonna have to end the video. And waffles that are alkaline, that are not made with any gluten, or there's some really good, you can eat good, and you can eat soul food too. There's a lot of you can substitute things and you can eat well. Just it's weird at the beginning because you've been lied to, like me. I've been lied to my whole life about what to eat, and also I come from a family with doctors in my family, and my friends have family that are doctors, and I'm friends with doctors, and people just most doctors just don't know. I was telling a doctor about this the other day, and he said, okay, he knows that cancer grows in an acid environment. So it's like people are starting to catch on to this, but I don't think he had heard 90% of what I told him, and that was just, I didn't tell him all of this either. So um, tune in for more. I hope that this changes your life in an amazing way, and I hope that you comment on a later video and say, holy crap, you were right, I feel freaking awesome, and I feel like I'm like 15 or 17 again, and I'm doing jumping jacks and doing live videos all night. So I hope you feel as amazing as I do right now. Of course, there's still going to be BS in your life, but you'll be feeling better to, if you have to kick someone's butt or ignore, most ignore. I'm not condoning violence. I'm a pacifist, although I do know how to use a samurai sword. And on that note, peace.